Good morning, you beautiful human beings on the internet. So today we're going to have a chatty conversation about what I've been up to in the last month or so, all the things I've been making, all the creative escapades I've been getting up to, and just generally having a natter. Lots of things have been happening, very exciting stuff. The biggest thing, which is going to have an impact on the channel, is the fact that my husband got a new job and now he's working from home and he is always here. Like, I love him to bits, I love him very much, but do I also love being able to spend an hour singing to my little heart's content in the kitchen? Yes. Is that good for all of his video calls and stuff like that? No. So we're going through like a little shift of adjustment of like who has which space in the house and who is able to very quietly carry on with their work and who is being big and dramatic in the lounge. It's me. I'm always the big dramatic one. It's always me. We've also been on holiday. That was fun. Went to the Netherlands. That was very nice. And we are in the throes of GCSEs and end of college stuff and all sorts. So having teenagers is loads of fun. Said nobody ever. It's stressful in this house right now. So what I thought we'd do today is just go through like a little chat of what I've been up to, what's been happening, fill you in on like creative circle stuff and all those exciting bits. So since Easter, it's not been like a hugely creative time. I have made my first hexagon cardigan, well, sort of. So I made it for the 9-year-old who she was going to be wearing it on holiday. What do we think? It's all right, isn't it? But it was just intended, I know that you can add rows onto the bottom and stuff, but she wanted a little cropped number and actually it really suits her. So she's been wearing this with a little white t-shirt and her big cargo jeans, so she's very, very happy with that. I like the colours, they're very nice. This was with Knitting Network, so it must have been emu yarn, just DK, and it works up really quickly actually, doesn't it? So that was quite good, enjoyed that. I've got another one on the go, hang on. Oh no. I had another one on the go. These colours are slightly different, but still. This one was supposed to be for me, and I think I prefer these colours. Does that mean? I quite like it. I think I like the grey. I don't know, now that I've looked at it. I haven't been at it for the last couple of days, so now that I've come back to it, I feel a bit not convinced. Don't you hate that? I'm going to have to persevere, but that's what I'm working on, is another granny square, no, what is it called? Hexagon cardigan. I've seen so many people making them and I was like, I'm not going to jump on the bandwagon, I'm not going to join the gang, but here I am, gang joined. We've got t-shirts. So one thing that has been playing on my mind is my Make 9 list. If you haven't watched that already, go find the link up there to watch it. I've got 3 or 4 quilts on that list. I would really love to make at least one by the end of the year, and I've got 6 months to do it. So I don't think that's unachievable. My Make 9, I really need to reassess how much time I have and how much spare time I have. This is definitely something that I underestimate all the time. So I've got some hexagons that I'm currently just basting. These are all the different colours so far. These can't be all the... I must have more fabric somewhere, or maybe I'm gonna... When I did this, it was about a month ago when I cut all of these up, so chances of me being able to remember what my plans were are very unlikely. I'm going to baste all of these and I'm going to put them together, and then I'll see if I've got any more that I can find, and if not, then I will just split it up with some white, and maybe I'll have like a flower of the purple and then white around the outside, and then make it into like maybe a mini quilt or something like that. But I've got all of my papers, which I've used old kids books for, so that's it's quite sturdy, it's quite handy. I've clearly got a thing about purple at the moment, haven't I? I'm not mad about that. You'll know that I definitely have a thing about purple when I show you my other project, which is also in purple, or pinks and purples. Who knew? So this was all part of, so you may remember from one of my old videos, we talked about the creative circle. Now I'm going to put this down, I look weird holding on to it. It will be a big reveal. Pretend you haven't seen it and then we'll come back to it. So the Creative Circle is a community interest company where we try and bring a bit of creativity and a bit of culture and a bit of arts to our local area. Now, I put on some sewing activities just before Easter. I think I showed you those, sewing the little bunnies and stuff, and the children loved it. They really enjoyed it, and it meant that the adults were able to sit with them and to craft and to sew with them and everything, and that was lovely. We did some surveying and we came up with like a couple of workshops. So one of them was embroidered notebooks. The second one was EPP coasters. Let me see if I've got one, 2 seconds. Ta-da! So here's one I made earlier. This is part of my Make 9 list, these coasters here. I absolutely love them. If I could make these and sell them for a living, I absolutely would. Put a thumbs up in the comments if you would buy some of these. And then also how much you would pay for them as well. But, so that was going to be the second workshop. And then the third workshop was going to be, I think it was rude cross stitch or funny cross stitch or something. So we did the first session. We were only going to do one a month. I thought it was quite reasonably priced, so we were charging £15 for a 2-hour session. All the materials were provided, refreshments were provided. We booked a hall out to put it on, and we had the area that we live in. There's about 6,000 people in this town. We had 3 people turn up. 3. So obviously that's not financially viable, and it meant that I then couldn't put on the next set of sessions, which was really frustrating. But epic fail, yeah, definitely. Humbling, yeah, definitely. Great to be able to be in a space with other creatives, yes, definitely. Am I going to work hard to put more on? Not so sure. I think maybe part of it was because it's an area where people expect a lot of things to be free. And the stuff that I did with the children, that was all free, or it was like £1 or something. So it meant that there was no skin off their nose for that. A lot of where we live is really family central, or family centric rather. So it means that it's either hard to get childcare or they just want their children involved. Like they would happily pay £15 for their child to do something, wouldn't necessarily pay £15 for them. So there's that to consider as well. But what was difficult for me was the amount of energy I'd put into planning it all. And then the amount of energy that we'd taken, because we'd taken so much advice from loads of people that had gone, oh, I'd love to come to that, oh, I'd definitely enjoy that, oh, that would really, really be great. So like when I put the poster out or put the info out, I'd already had like 20 or 30 people saying to me, yes, I'll book onto that. So when only 3 people booked on, it just sort of felt a bit, it was really difficult. So I don't really know what to do from that. I don't know what we do with that. But obviously this one isn't finished. I need to do all the squares. But all we did was punctured holes. I wonder if you can see it a bit better. No, there's no way of being able to see it better. We just punctured holes in and then made a grid sewing it through. I'll show you some examples here of different options you can use. It was a really nice activity. It was really lovely, and it was nice to be able to do it in a space together. Like I said, the fact that there were so few people made it a little bit awkward, because it was like, oh, I thought this was going to be a social thing. And you can be sociable with just like a small group, but also, you know, 2 hours of conversation is tricky. Also, you kind of want to have like a bit of a balance, don't you, of people that know what they're doing and people that don't know what they're doing. So if you're the only person in the room that doesn't know what they're doing, then that's a bit uncomfortable. Anyway, all that to say, was it an epic fail? Yes. Will I be trying again? Probably, because I will have forgotten in like 3 months' time that it was an epic fail. Will I be doing stuff that people ask me to put on? No. I will only do things that I enjoy doing. We did also do as part of like the business, we did also do a Turkish meal and quiz night, which was really, really well attended. That was fantastic. We had about 40 people book into that. And we had the most amazing food. We've got some local Turkish ladies who came and did some food for us. It was just amazing. And they did homemade baklava and there was loads left over. So I was like, I don't mind taking that home. If you want, I can help you, you know, get rid of that. Oh, it was so nice. It was just absolutely delicious. And the quiz was fantastic as well, hosted by the wonderful Sarah. It was a really lovely evening that allowed people to shine and allowed people to share their talents as well, and for us all to be able to experience proper Turkish food made by, you know, not like your touristy Turkish food, but proper food. Oh, it was just so lovely. So that was a really nice win. Was that a fail? Absolutely not. Will I be doing that again? Absolutely. I will say one of the positives that has come from just sort of organising and having all the materials out and everything else for these craft workshops has been that because it's all been out, my 9-year-old has been so engaged with sewing. It's been lovely. She's made a whole little host of, I'm pretty sure I showed it in my last video, but she's made a whole host of little plushies that we've got the patterns for free off Pinterest, and she's just been making little whales, and she sits there of an evening hand sewing it. She's going through all my fabric stash and cutting them up and making different patterns and stuff like that. It's been really lovely. There was one awkward moment when she was doing a bit of sewing at school and she asked to take in our materials instead of, or rather our like needles and threads and notions and stuff like that, because she said the school ones weren't good enough. They weren't up to her standard. So I had to very sheepishly say to the teacher, like, I'm so sorry, but my precocious child has decided that your efforts aren't good enough and that she would like to do her own. But, you know, she's a mother's child, so what can I say? It's been really great to see her get interested and get passionate about it. So that's really lovely. So I think what I'm going to do for the rest of the day is start to baste some more of these hexagons and have a bit of a think. I'll just have a little look back and a reflect on what my Make 9 board looks like and have a think about what I can reasonably achieve in the next 6 months. Ta-da! And just see how we go. Where have all my other ones gone? Woo, 3. Woo, be there in no time. But yeah, just have a look and see what I've got coming up and what I need to prioritise. Like I said, I would just really love to have one handmade, hand sewn quilt by the end of the year. And so if I need to find the simplest one, so be it. If I need to make 9 make 6, then that's fine. I mean, I've done a lot of mini projects so far. The whole point of the board was so that I could upskill myself to this point. So that in itself is already a win. We have achieved. This fabric, by the way, I'll link it down below because it was in a fat quarter pack with 6 or 7 different colours of purple, and it was really good value, but also it's really good quality as well. So I'll link it down below, but it's by one of one of the famous Etsy stores. I love Etsy. I honestly love Etsy. But yeah, so that's my plan for the next, my plan for the next week is to come up with a plan for the next 6 months. And of course that plan is going to look different now that hubby's working from home, because it will mean that I can't necessarily sit and just craft or sew whenever I fancy. But that probably is a good thing. So yeah, who knows what the plan is going to look like, but I will be back to tell you. Because of the new schedule, and also because this is a project that's quite dull, if you know, you just don't want to watch me basting every single week, do you? So it may be that videos are going to be every other week for a little while until something exciting happens. And like I said, because 2 of the kids are now have almost finished school, so they're home until September, and then hubby working from home and stuff like that will mean that a lot of that will have to take priority over me just contently sewing and crocheting away. But I will definitely keep you up to date on what's happening with the Creative Circle as well. We're hopefully doing some children's sessions in the summer holidays, so that will, I imagine that will be popular because it's for kids, and I'm trying to get funding for it so that it can be free for some families as well, so that would be really, really nice for them. But yeah, stay tuned. Like and subscribe for more, follow along. I'm sorry that this has been such a chatty video. Thank you very much if you've got this far. I very much appreciate you. So as ever, you wonderful lot, thank you for following along. Thank you for being part of my journey, and I will speak to you very, very soon as I've come up with a plan for my Make 9. See you soon. Bye.